All right, good morning. Great turnout today. Awesome. How you doing, Chris? Get your chairs over there. Yeah. It's a little tight.
Thank you, Albert.
Okay. So this week's code of conduct is to maintain confidentiality of insider information learned about ECI or about our clients. So it's that discretion part that we probably talked about last week. You know, let's just make sure that we're discreet with the information, make sure it's the right room, the right crowd of something that you know that you shouldn't be indulging further upon. But again, great turnout. Thanks everybody for coming. This is fantastic. I think we got just about everybody in the company either online or here today. That's fantastic. So much appreciated. So 41 days without a recordable. All right, we got about 2 weeks left of the construction season of 2019. So let's really put our best effort forward. Let's try to do that hazard recognition, controlling those hazards through the hierarchy of controls. You know, rely on that personal protective equipment as our last line of defense, and let's just communicate and work together as a team, and hopefully we can finish out the season strong.
Slips, trips, and falls.
Slip, trips, and falls.
You even get to do that,
yeah.
Before you can be out there in a hazardous situation.
Yeah, it's a good point, Ken. If you see a slippery surface, we have the means and methods to eliminate it. Let's eliminate these slippery surfaces. Throw down some salt, throw down some sand. Let somebody else know if you don't have the means and methods right away, just so we can jump on it right away. Definitely good one. So this week I just wanted to kind of talk about hazards communication. I kind of had a feeling we're going to be a packed house today, and this is one of our kind of requirements. So this kind of will help us for the 2020 season when it talks about hazards communication. And really the important part is the labeling, and that's what we're going to focus on today, is the labeling aspect of our warning. When you talk about HazCom, it's really three parts. One is training, two is labeling, and three is those SDS sheets. So we're going to talk a little bit about the training today and labeling, and then in a little bit in future trainings we'll kind of dial in the SDS sheets. So labels is really the most important. Anytime you purchase something or you're using any type of chemical out there, everything needs to have a label. If you buy something over the shelf, it's automatically going to have a label. Where we get in trouble is when we do some transfer into a secondary containment. That's why we bought the gas cans, the diesel cans that we have. They're already pre-labeled. They're stamped on the can. They maintain that label very well. But as that can gets older and gets defaced a little bit, we might need to throw on a new label onto those cans. So OSHA has some really specific guidelines for labels. It needs to have what it is, gasoline. It needs to have a warning sign such as danger. It needs to have a pictogram. And these are the pictograms. We're going to review the pictograms, so hopefully everybody can identify a pictogram. And then any other cautions or warning devices. And then also talks about our HMIs, where it kind of says 1 through 4. Is it health hazard, flammable hazard, or is it reactive? Things like that. We'll talk about that a little bit further. So these labels that we have here, these are actually ones that we can print out right away. Alberta has it all set up where doesn't matter what it is, gasoline, diesel, any of our epoxies, concrete curing agents, anything like that, we can get those immediately. Just let us know. If your secondary containers need a label, let us know. We'll throw them on there. So that's roughly a label. Now we're going to get into the pictograms. These pictograms are pretty new the last couple of years. Hopefully this is a refresher for everybody. But it's very important that everybody identifies what each pictogram means so you can identify what type of hazards that you might be coming in contact with. Remember, the hazardous communication is the right to know. You have the right to know of any hazardous chemical that you might come in contact with. We don't have any really nasty stuff here at Engineered Construction. It's mostly our gasoline, diesels, and concrete curing agents for the most part, and some of the epoxies that we use as well. So you got corrosive. It's like a vial breaking. One of them's on your hand, and the other one's like on a solid surface, saying that can eat away at it. The exclamation point It's just kind of an acute an irritant. And then you got the exploding bomb. Okay, it's explosive. A skull and crossbones.
Poison.
Yeah, it's an acute toxicity. And then you got your flammable. The biggest thing between these two is they look very, very similar, but you got to identify the O and the flame over a circle. This is an oxidizer, and these are your flammable liquids. And then everybody should know that one. Those are our gas cylinders, oxygen, acetylene, things like that. We have environmental, the dead fish, dead tree. It means it's not really, it's more just dangerous to the environment if it is spilled. Then we have the kind of starburst through the chest. That's your health hazard. And again, that's the oxidizer at the end there. You should see these. You should be able to identify these. You buy really any product over the counter from W4 or 4D,
WD-40.
WD-40. Thank you, Ben. To really anything will have these right on there. And it's very important. It's your right to know. It's your awareness that you treat these types of chemicals properly so you don't harm yourself down the road. So our safe work practice here at Engineers when it comes to hazardous communication or labeling is we want to understand the importance of it. It's important. You know, something comes defaced or you can't identify it, let somebody know. Call health and safety. We'll get out there. We'll try to figure out what it could be and we can get the proper label on our containers. When we share the responsibility, everybody wins, okay? Especially when it comes to hazardous communication. So if you see something that doesn't look right, let's get it addressed. So you have the right to know. Let's make sure all of our stuff is labeled. It's a good time to go through your trailers in the next couple of weeks. Let's see what needs to be relabeled, and we'll be here to help you get those labels on those cans or containers. Is there any questions?
What about like older things that you have in your trailer that you don't need anymore?
Bring those in and we'll figure out how to properly dispose of those. That's a good point.
So this is one of the most cited violations by OSHA, right?
In general industry, yes.
General industry.
In general industry, in construction, it's now finally out of the top 10. we got there.
Yeah. I think it's partly
Yeah.
that if they find something and they want to just find more, they can
Yeah.
always pretty much find a violation. And
Right.
I think also if you have a kind of a messy job site versus a well-kept, good housekeeping job site,
Yeah.
they'll tend to think that's a good violation if you don't look like you're organized and clean. They'll find that.
Correct. Yep. So it's important. What's that?
The labels do the same.
Oh, yeah, we printed out a bunch of this, our standard gasoline and diesel labels. They're all right here. If you feel like you might need one, just come grab one and throw them on. But again, all of our newer gas cans, diesel cans, those are all properly labeled as they come out of here.
So this is for like putting on your clipboard or something, just for reference?
No, it's an actual
It's-
label to put back on the gas.
there's
tank.
adhesive on the back side.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, but it doesn't look like, looks like pretty small print for what I'd expect on a fuel can.
Yeah,
Okay,
it meets the requirement.
okay. Here's your glasses to read it.
Yeah.
Okay, hazardous communication. Announcements.
So we have next week with the holidays here, you need to be really diligent about doing the time recording on foundation and approvals and all the other paperwork, because the accounting department's going to be really kind of pressed to get all this done and processed so they can be out by hopefully noon on Tuesday and have it all done and ready so paychecks are ready for Friday.
So maybe we get caught up today.
Yes, that'd be good. So if you can get done, finish it, approve it, and everything, have it done. And then for the schedule, the holiday schedule, Tuesday is the 24th, Christmas Eve, and we'll be open till noon. Wednesday, the office is closed. And then the following week, Tuesday, the New Year's Eve is the 31st, open till noon. And then closed on Wednesday for the holiday. And then we're in 2020. And today is Ham Day, in case you didn't notice. So make sure you don't leave without a ham, because that's always a hassle tracking down the last few hams for people who didn't get them. And then the pig roast, the party, the Christmas party pig roast. So that's Tuesday at noon. We'll go until the pig is done, right? It won't take long, I'm sure. And for projects this week, we are profiling the Black Flannel Brewery. And we're hired by J.A. Morrissey to install a 4-inch water line outside and probably some connects inside. I don't really know that detail, but then a lot of excavation, trenching for the plumber, backfilling, and restoration here inside of the building. So I guess this will be a brewery / restaurant. Is that correct?
Brewery and distillery and pub.
And so,
Yeah.
so they'll have.
Part of the building there is the bar.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. So that'll be opening, I assume, in March or so. Okay. So are they're brewing somewhere and
They have a brewery somewhere, but it's not out and about for selling yet.
and a distillery too or something. I'm not really sure. So they'll bring it all together over at the Essex Cinema.
Essex Experience now.
Essex Experience.
That's what it's called now.
Ah.
Instead of Essex Outlet. It's
Yeah.
Essex Experience.
Okay.
Nice little facelift.
So it can't be that bad to work inside this time of year. It's not that bad to work inside this time of year, is it? So, and I see that we have conduits and stuff. And Jay Morrissey is probably doing a lot of the stud framing.
East Shore drywall is with the framing.
East Shore, okay. And then some old plumbing here, huh?
That was the standpipe that we connected into the sewer line.
Okay. And then, so that was the electric backhoe that we have on rent right there?
Yeah.
Yep. Excavator. Good. Good. Able to control, by having electric, you're able to control your exhaust, but so is this a gas engine or is it electric? Electric, see? Cool.
We did all the concrete work too on the slab, and those were the last two pictures.
Okay,
Is concrete work.
right, yep. Sounds good. Good job, guys. Did we do the cutting? No.
Send us back.
Okay, so it's like.
Oh, Roger.
And then from the photo archives, there's kind of the other extreme from almost the first day of winter. Roger, is Roger here? Yeah, that's Roger. I'd say that was probably 30 years ago. 30 plus years ago. Plowing cable. A long time ago. All right, good. Well, hams will be ready as soon as we get down there. What's the process? Who's in charge of the hams? Ben, you?
Mr. Burns put them out, but we'll organize ourselves before we get
So
started.
should we do checks first as you go out, go down?
What we did last year was we had.
Well, some people don't have check structure.
Everybody has, you can do checks
Downstairs.
for paychecks.
All at once.
You want to do them all at once at the same time and
Downstairs.
coordinate them?
Downstairs, okay.
We'll do it downstairs. And you want to call
All right.
people out?
So we'll get ahead.
You
of
want to
it.
call people out
Sure.
alphabetically this year?
Well, we got checks and there's not as many checks as hams because a lot of people don't get the checks in the box, right? I
Yeah, I
think.
have them at home.
Yeah, I think we have a check for every hand.
Oh, okay, we do have a check for every ham.
Yeah, we have a check for every hand. Makes it easy.
Did I get a ham?
No, not you.
If you don't get a check, you don't get a hand.